For those of you who don't know what a sugar baby is, it's basically a lady of the evening. And to clarify...
No, I disagree. A sugar baby is not a lady of the evening. It is a variation of a girlfriend and a hooker. It is in between the two. It is both a career and a relationship.
By that, there are varying degrees to sugar babydom, and you have the kind that like will just go out on dates with dudes for money, and then you have the kind that will go like all the way with dudes for money. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I guess you've got to be at normal speed on all of these. You're a fast talker. I think they had a Seinfeld episode all about you. Oh no, that was a close talker. Judge Reinhold was the close talker.
My girlfriend was the latter. And buckle up, guys, because this story away with dudes for money. You know what I'm saying? My girlfriend was the latter. And buckle up, guys, because this story is a...
She was a fucking ladder, so you climbed all the way up to the building? Fuck yeah, Chippa. Get that drum set back up. We need it.
Doozy. I met this girl at the SLS Hotel. There's like a bar there underneath, very classy, called the Bazaar. I used to go there. They make the best old fashions in town, so I used to go there all the time. I saw this girl at the bar by herself. Oh, by the way, if a girl is at a hotel bar by herself, that's usually a red flag.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and if you just look like a rube, she'll come up to you. You don't even need to ask. She'll make it known.
And I'll never forget, she was wearing like a black semi-transparent like onesie, you know, with like a black brassiere underneath and like a black and gold LV Louis Vuitton belt. Like fucking gorgeous, like way too pretty to be hanging out at a bar by herself, but I was mystified. I chinked her glass and we started chatting.
Yeah, that is an outright denial. I feel like that was a sitcom plot once of just absolutely knowing and seeing all the signs of, is that a hooker? No. It doesn't matter that she checks everything off on the list to be like, is that a hooker? And probably yes. No, I'm going to go for it.
Chatting, and eventually I said,
likes me. She's just coming on to me. Single women do that to single men all the time. They initiate the contact just all the time.
Where are you staying? And she goes, here, like in the hotel. This was a few years back, and it never occurred to me why a girl that lived in LA was staying in the hotel upstairs by herself. Oh,
how much of a fucking rube are you? We do need you and Jad T. Jones in a debate talking. You two are a couple of silly gooses. Hotel bars are indeed a great place to pick up women. If you were staying in a bar just off the strip of Las Vegas, all you need to do is wake up in the morning, go downstairs, look like a rube, and then you don't even need to go and do anything else that day. But don't make every day a hooker day. Don't make every day I'm just going to look stupid until approached by you'll do. That's one day out of your many day trip. You can still do things later in the day, of course. And
to be young.
That's
and
all I got to say about that.
Naive. I can't say that she propositioned me or anything. She just kind of like insinuated that she like lives upstairs. She was like, do you want to have a nightcap? And I didn't know, even at the time, I didn't know what that meant. I just thought it meant to like have a drink at the bar together. And all I ended up doing was...
How do you not know this? That's a different type. Absolutely. The lot lizards at the truck stops. Fantastic place to pick up some ladies on the prowl. It's a different breed of working girl. They're in the same line of work, but the lot lizard and the hotel lizards, the hotel hose, they're two different breeds.
Was getting her phone number. And then I didn't see her for like a week after that. The next time I saw her, I invited her to go with me to a club. I went up and picked her up from her apartment, which wasn't near the hotel at all. And then we just went together to a club called Warwick. And from that night on, we started hooking up and hanging out. But it's not like I paid her anything. I had no idea. She told me as a job, she was in PR. And at the time, she wasn't my girlfriend. We were just hooking up from time to time. We weren't dating. After a couple of months of this.
But you're just paying for so much of her shit and not realizing that there's transactions going on with sex for money. You fucking fool.
She calls me up one day and says she's getting kicked out of her place for some obscure reason. I said, it's all right. You can stay with me in my townhouse till you get sorted. So at this point, this girl's living with me and we're still not together. She's just...
And he's calling her a hooker. He said she was doing business up in that hotel room. Oh, Jesus Christ. Take it away.
In my house.
You're frustrating the shit out of me.
And the next thing you know, she's been there for a year. And whatever, I'm working, she's going to like her PR dinners, meeting with clients tonight, like all that stuff to handle the PR related side.
Oh, she handles it with both hands.
Of her job. And sometimes I would drop her off to those meetings and pick her up from those client dinners, and it was no big deal.
You remember The King of the Hill where Hank didn't realize he was a pimp? You didn't realize that you were a pimp, and then you ate her out later.
And I distinctly
She's your girlfriend. Thank you for admitting this on the internet.
remember thinking, wow, this girl's only 22 and she's killing it with these clients. I'm so proud of her. And also, it's been a fucking year now, so we're dating officially. And
I actually didn't pick up on that, Rochi. That is the exact same suit he was wearing. And as you've seen, this is a different sport coat than you guys have seen before. Do I have more suits than you do, sir? I do need to up my tie game. I do not have many ties to pick from, that's for sure.
And she was doing so well that she was finally able to afford for herself a penthouse loft over by the Grove in Hollywood with no roommates. So we transitioned her.
Yeah, that's expensive as fuck. The Grove is expensive as fuck. Actually, you get a little
Out of my house, and she's in her own spot. I'd stay with her sometimes. She'd stay with me sometimes. It was great. And one time I spent the night, and she had to go to work the next day. So I was there on my own, and I was like, well, I'll just get the mail so she doesn't have to worry about getting it later. And I did, and I noticed all the bills were in some dude's name. Just because the bills were in some dude's name doesn't mean I was going to confront her about it. I mean, it could have been like her friend set it up for her. You never know. So I just kept it to myself till I figured things out. But something happens to you as an individual when you become...
You're figuring this out way too slowly, especially someone claiming to be a ladies' man and giving all of us advice.
Suspicious of
How old are you, sir?
Your significant other. You know,
are you 22 and doing this? Do you just not have the life experience to realize what a hotel hoe and a lot lizard look like?
what I'm saying? You start to get this like feeling inside, and you kind of become a detective and so on. And don't get me wrong, I'm no saint. I'm definitely not. However, you just started to feel very insecure because that's what happens. And I'm not proud of this. And today I would have handled this a little bit differently, but this was a few years back and I didn't want to confront her so that she can come up with a story on the spot. I just went into her phone when she wasn't around to match the name on the envelope with a contact list.
Let me just be as equally of a creepy stalker as women have been to me. Let me be the same douche that
and oh boy, did I find something. Turns out she wasn't paying the bills at the loft. She wasn't even paying rent at the loft. It was completely funded by some married dude with kids. Now it's confrontation time. When I finally showed her what I had found and things started to come out in the questioning,
things came out in the questioning out of two holes.
I discovered that not only had she never worked in PR, but all of those meetings and client dinners that I would take her to and pick her up from were actually rendezvous with Johns.
We know!
Needless to say, the relationship ended. And I don't even have a problem with sugar babies or prostitutes or hookers or whatever you want to call them. It's just that she didn't tell me. So in that relationship, I didn't have a choice. And to this day, I don't harbor resentment or anything. It's not like we're friends, but we're not on bad terms, like we're acquaintances. She still follows me on Instagram. There's pictures of her on my Instagram. But this was years back, and at the time, it definitely pulled the rug from up under me, emotionally speaking. And that's why I preach to you guys or girls, if you're honest and upfront with your intentions in the relationship, at least you give the other person a...
Yeah, the girl I was dating at the time, she was quite open with her sugar daddiness. She had not seen him in a while. And yeah, it was like, oh, I should contact him. Like, yes, contact him. Can we both profit from you fucking another guy? Because I was openly fucking other women too. She was a cam girl and a nanny, and I was also seeing a rocket scientist at the time at the Jet Propulsion Laboratory. So that was a really fun time for me.
A choice to whether or not they want to be with you. And then that way you don't end up leaving disaster in your wake. So even if you want to live like a bachelor and have a revolving door in your bedroom, it's a healthier dynamic, and you'll be surprised how many people are down.
You'd think he was introduced into the Book of Mormon. And I have mentioned multiple times a polyamorous fellow, right? Everyone knew the scientist and the cam girl all knew about each other. It was the cam girl nanny that drug me down into the nice life of depravity. Thank you very much, nanny cam girl.